Hi, I'm Laura. I'm one of the co-founders of Domus V2, and today I'm introducing our Domus V2 jumping spider enclosure. We're often asked about the functionality of this product, and the easiest way to show you is with a demonstration. So let's jump right in. If you keep jumping spiders, you'll know how important it is to have an enclosure that works for them, not just something that looks nice on a shelf. The Domus enclosure was designed from real keeper experience, and the version 2 is a direct response to the feedback we received from our community. So what's new? So what's new? Version 1 of the Domus and version 2 of the Domus. So with version 2, the acrylic is actually much thicker throughout, which means that it's sturdier, but it's still crystal clear. The base is now deeper, making it much more suitable for bioactive setups and substrate layering and more natural decor. One of my favourite upgrades is a now integrated feeding and misting hatch into the roof. So you can add feeders or mist your enclosure without disturbing the enclosure or your spider too much. The Domus V2 is a modular enclosure. You've got the base section, a centre extension that adds height for arboreal behaviour, and the roof section so that your spider has proper vertical space to web, climb and thrive. It's designed primarily for jumping spiders, but it can also be suitable for small tarantulas and praying mantises as well. Fully assembled, the enclosure is 28 centimetres high with a 15 by 15 centimetre footprint. Compact but spacious where it matters. Our newest version doesn't actually cost more than the original. We wanted to upgrade the enclosure but not pass the cost on to our customers. Everything is made using premium virgin acrylic and neodymium magnets for long-term safety and reliability. Starting at the top, this is the roof section. The big change here is the feeding and misting hatch, which means you don't have to open the whole enclosure to feed or mist your spider. This can really reduce stress for your spiders and pops on and off really easily with our neodymium magnets. The base is probably the most functional upgrade we've made. The base section is now 3.5 centimetres deep as opposed to 2 centimetres for the version 1. This makes it much more suitable for bioactive setups as you've got room for substrate layers and more natural decor. Stronger, more stable, but still completely clear. This middle section adds an additional 7 centimetres of height, which is really important for jumping spiders who need height to web climb and explore. It also gives you more flexibility for additional decor and enrichment. All sections are secured using neodymium magnets, so everything lines up and keeps everything stable and secure. As with version 1 of the Domus, we also added this flat piece, which gives you some added versatility and options when deciding how to make your enclosure work for you and your spider. Depending on the age of your spider, you might want to start with a different setup. For example, this is probably the smallest setup and is suitable for quite young slings up until around I5, I6. We often find with this stage of the enclosure that popping in a tiny bit of moist paper towel plus a few additional decor items is sufficient size and enrichment for younger spiders. And one of the most important changes we made from the version 1 to version 2 was adding this feeding hatch that you're able to access young spiders quite easily without having to remove the base. If you happen to be homing an older spider, you may want to jump straight in with a second section, which gives adequate space for slightly older spiders and also provides easy access via the door at the front. Or if you happen to be housing a particularly large, older or confident spider, You might wish to go straight onto the full version, just like this. But the beauty of this enclosure is that it can be reused again and again, and you can actually go back down to the smallest setting and back up to the largest if you do happen to lose a spider and don't wish to purchase a whole new enclosure. You have the option of going back to the smallest size again, so you shouldn't need to purchase multiple enclosures. So I do actually have a spider that is ready to move on to his big boy enclosure. So let me introduce you to Bean. This is one of our little boys, Bean, who's a Bahamas baby that's been bred here by us at Domus V2. As you can see, Bean is around an I7 at the moment, but he's a very calm and very confident boy, and he easily takes down green bottles at the moment, so I think he's probably ready to go into his big enclosure. It's important to remember that if a spider does struggle in a larger enclosure, it's not difficult and not a problem to size down again if they seem to become overwhelmed. But knowing all of my spiders as well as I do, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine in a big boy enclosure. Let's pop him in. So just to show you how easy it is to feed and mist via the hatch, you can either swing it just to one side or pop it off completely, whatever's easiest for you. Just remember to reattach it after you've finished. A couple of light sprays with a misting bottle. And a couple of Domus V2 fly casters. Easy as that. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions or any comments or anything, please do feel free to leave us a message. And if you do decide to purchase one, we hope you enjoy it as much as we do and little Bean. Please do feel free to give us any feedback, that would be greatly appreciated, because we're always working on our next version.